intimidating.
Freddie, how do you feel about this week going back to the Rose Bowl and being able to see this offense work?
First of all, I love playing in the Rose Bowl. It's an iconic stadium, in the country. So much tradition, so much history. The field is always immaculate. It's like playing on a putting green. So I love playing in the Rose Bowl. And exciting to start with a brand name opponent, Power Four opponent. And it's a big challenge for us. So right off the bat, I'm fired up that we're in the situation we are to be able to go into Pasadena, face the Bruins, and see what we got.
How do you feel about your tight end group and how prepared they are to compete Saturday night?
Well, I was just telling somebody, I feel like we'll be prepared on Saturday, but we still need this week of practice. We get 25 practices before the first game for a reason, and we need every single one of them. But I feel confident that when we kick off at 8 o'clock, they'll be prepared.
We've heard a lot about J.J. Buchanan. How confident are you in him that he can have an impact this season?
Well, J.J. had a really good fall camp, and the whole philosophy of this offense is putting guys in positions where they can do things that they're good at, where they'll be successful. And I think that goes for anybody, JJ included. I feel like, he has earned the right to see reps, in this game. And, he's obviously just a true freshman, but he comes with a lot of confidence. I don't see the lights being too bright for him, but, come Saturday, we'll see what we got.
Kyle mentioned that he has more energy than he's had in a while. Just going back to his decision, how much energy has he had? What does it look like behind the scenes? And is he most energetic he's been since you've seen him?
I would say that he is definitely, he's definitely focused. He's definitely energetic. There's not a thing that he misses that happens in this program. And on top of everything, holding us accountable as coaches, players accountable. And I know he's fired up to kick this thing off as well. I know it's been pretty public that he said he didn't want to go out, with that bad taste in his mouth last year. And I have no idea when he will decide that it's time, but I know all he's focused on is this first game and getting the win.
The tight end position was one where there were a lot of question marks with Jason Beck coming in. What was that process like, working with him and coming together in terms of marrying his scheme with your group?
Yeah, I think if you look at his history, whether he was at Syracuse, they had that Aronde Gatson tight end that caught a lot of balls. When he was coaching with Robert and they had those tight ends down south, like, what's his name, Dennis Pitta, guys like that. So I think when you have the guys, they planned the offense around that. Maybe in New Mexico, they didn't have a, well-stocked tight end room, so maybe they didn't use them as much there. But I think you'll see on the field, who we believe in, based on who's out there and what they're doing.
You said that, there is this number of practices until game day, and that there is things that need to be worked on. What is the one thing that you think the tight ends need to work on the most before game day?
I think fundamentals and technique is, it's everything about executing their assignment. So continuing to work on their fundamentals and technique in all facets of the game, run blocking and route running. I also believe we need to understand clearly what UCLA wants to do, what they've done in the past. They have the same defensive coordinator, so they need to spend a lot of time this week in the film room watching the different fronts and pressures and coverages and understand what they need to do in reaction to that based on our play call. And so to me, it's still part physical with the fundamentals and technique, and it's a lot mental with the understanding of the opponent.
What makes JJ unique, and what does he bring to this position group?
JJ is, first of all, he's a great athlete. When he was in high school, he was a heck of a basketball player, as well as a football player. He was mostly an outside receiver in high school, played probably around 205 to 208 pounds. He bulked up to over 225 coming into fall camp. So he's turned himself more into a tight end body and learned more of the tight end craft. And so I think that the things that he combines is being able to be a tight end, but also have the athleticism, of somebody that, could play outside.
Freddie, you've been in and around the Utah football program for a long time, to where you've seen personalities gelling and clicking. What about this group, this team as a whole, this Utah football team that stands out to you, that makes you feel confident heading into this season?
I have been here a long time. And I see a great vibe, if that's what you want to call it, with the players. They seem to really get along, hold each other accountable. There's a lot of energy in meetings and practice. I see a lot of great leadership from our quarterback on the offensive side. Players gravitate toward him. He's very he is a guy that doesn't just do his own thing. He's always constantly interacting with guys, whether it's the linemen, the receivers, the running backs, guys on defense. He's just that kind of a guy, and that kind of leadership, I think, really stands out.
Awesome. Thank you.